right, guys. This is News Across All Arenas. I'm Ryan, and this is my bro, Andre. And we got a quick little update on News Across All Arenas. A lot has been going on in the world of sports.
There's a lot. We've talked a lot about wrestling. We let's we'll dive into that in the coming weeks of WrestleMania,
For
which
sure.
next week.
Yeah, next week. That's
Fucking
crazy. Crazy. But let's just jump right into the outside of wrestling. But yesterday was the national championship basketball tournament, and the men's tournament, just in general, the first two rounds, not really big upsets like we usually
Right.
do in the past few years. No 16 seed beat a 1 seed or anything like that. So no Cinderella story in a way.
Yeah.
So as we got closer the uh to the end, my favorite round was the Elite Eight and really the Final Four.
Yeah.
Because the Final Four, Duke, Auburn, Houston, and Florida. Bro, those games, those 2 games were really good. I had taken Auburn, and it looked like they were going to or no, I'm sorry. Auburn lost. They lost to Florida.
Yep.
I took Florida, but they looked like they were gonna lose,
Yeah.
and they ended up coming back and eventually, beating Houston in the championship last night. And then that Houston and Duke game.
Oh my
Holy
god.
crap! I also had
That's
Houston.
crazy. I had Houston
I had
City.
Houston. I turned it off the first half at halftime because I'm like, "Oh, this game's over." They were winning by like 10,
Yeah.
10 20 points or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so last night's game was another good game where it looked like Houston was running away with it, and then all of a sudden we get to the final minutes of the game,
Oh. Brutal.
and Houston just let go of the gas pedal, and Florida was able to. They got those good defense plays in there, and then scoring the last few points, and that was it.
Oh, the fact that Houston couldn't score in the last 2 minutes. It was
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
to put into Calvin Sampson's words, incomprehensible. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
Yeah,
that's
it sounds about right.
but I had a Houston future to win the national championship at plus
Oh.
500, and obviously didn't come through. But I mean, yeah, you know, when I was making my bracket, I only had Houston as the 1 seed going to the Final Four. I didn't have
In this
Duke.
case, it was all
It was
all
super-
all 4
all for 1 seed.
number 1 seeds made it, which
But you know
haven't
what?
seen that in a while.
Right. And yeah, it hasn't happened since I think 2009.
Yeah, something like that.
And also too, I think it's the first year where whichever team led after the first half never won the game.
Whoa, that's a crazy stat.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And the funny thing is, like, the way that, Samson got on, the onside, interview, during the game, and, both teams, they were, like, 0 for, like, something for in the beginning of
Yeah.
3-pointers, like, no one was making nothing, and then, obviously, as the game progressed, they started to feel themselves, so maybe there was definitely some, nerves in the beginning.
Well, I think both teams are just good defensively.
Yeah,
See,
yeah, yeah. Houston is one of the better defenses in college basketball, right?
and the fact that they were able to keep it so close, and they just
Yeah.
couldn't score.
Yeah. I think really also Florida was just like because they had to come back and win against Auburn,
Yeah.
they kinda lost their shot a little bit, but the kid Clayton, man. Wasn't Clayton?
He's gonna be special.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
he's
be
gonna be good.
If he goes to the draft this year, which I don't know if he is, but if he ends up going to the draft, I'd assume he'd be like a first round pick.
Yeah.
Maybe not a lottery pick, but yeah, he'll definitely be a first round pick.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, everybody thought Duke was gonna to make it to the championship with Cooper Flag, and I guess history kind of repeats itself with Duke, where they always have, like, the superstars, and they just never to get to the end of the road and winning it, but I'm sure he's
He's
one and
gonna
done,
be
right?
yeah, he's gonna be the number one pick.
So, NBA news, today broke out that, the Denver Nuggets fired, Michael Malone.
Michael Malone.
That's crazy. I just saw it, uh, about an hour ago. I'm like, "This guy" wait, first of all, the Nuggets, they're in the playoffs,
Yeah,
or they're the number 1 or the 4th seed.
yeah,
So and this guy has a good record for you guys, always keeping you guys above 500, uh, and he won you guys a championship
the only
just
championship they've ever won.
just a few years ago. So and then you were just telling me all the things that were happening, and they also fired their GM.
Yeah,
So it just seems like there is, some, friction between ownership and whatever, but
yeah,
I think it's a dumb move, especially the playoffs are about to start.
literally in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so that's not a good move. That's not gonna your team is not going I mean, I could be wrong, but it just seems like when you fire a coach going into the playoffs, like the gelling of the team just seems a little off, but it's been done before with Cleveland when they fired, Blatt.
The Grizzlies just did it
And yeah,
last weekend.
so but my point was, when the Cleveland Cavaliers won that in 2016, they also fired their head coach
Yeah, that's right.
in the beginning of the season, and then Ty Lue comes in, and they end up winning the championship, but then again, it's a kind of a different story, it's
Yeah.
LeBron James, but anyways, yeah, I think that's wild, so we'll
You want to
see.
know a boneheaded move? Whoever fired, we have
Who is the
bonehead. Whoever made that decision to fire Michael
so
Malone.
Nico Harrison, you're off the hook?
As for right now, you're off the hook. But yeah, I know it was just so crazy, man. It's crazy. I mean, like it.
You just read something that one of the reasons,
Oh yeah,
what do they say?
what are the reasons why, according to league sources, um, one of the reasons why they were both fired. Well, mostly on Michael Malone's side was that their defensive like efficiency or like their defensive play has been like
Like dropping?
been dropping.
Mm.
So that's a significant reason why. But I mean, yeah, I mean even still,
That's
like
interesting.
you have arguably the best player in the league.
MVP.
Yeah, and Nikola Jokic, and he's probably not going to win MVP this year, but he's still an elite player, right? He's not the fastest,
Yeah.
obviously, but like, you know,
But he does a lot for
he does a
his
lot
team,
for the Nuggets.
which hence that's why he won MVP, what, the last 2 years?
Yeah,
This year, the running favorite is, Shea
Shea Gilgeous.
Alexander, well, um, obviously rightfully deserving. But, yeah, that's the news for NBA. Let's go to NFL real quick. We haven't talked about that in a bit since we've been so heavily WWE recently, obviously because it's WrestleMania week, or WrestleMania month, I should say.
WrestleMania season, baby.
WrestleMania season. So in the NFL, this was what it was like a few weeks ago. This
I was
happened.
there like a couple weeks ago, something like that.
Russell Wilson is traded to the Giants for a
Fucking stupid.
1-year deal, 21 mil, including a 10.5 mil guaranteed.
This is fucking stupid. I don't get it. I don't. Why wouldn't the Steelers just keep him?
For what? And they also got rid of
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields,
That's
which
what makes this even
in
more
reality, both of the quarterbacks went to New York.
That's true.
So so I I don't know. I think that's pretty bonehead too, if you
Yeah,
think
no,
about
it
it.
really is. I don't know. Like, I I was gonna put out a news across all arenas, and it had this news on it. I just I didn't feel good about it. But what I said on there was I don't get why they did it. I mean, like what I'm saying now, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Now Aaron Rodgers is probably gonna go to the Steelers. He's had meetings with them and all that.
Which is fine because I would rather him go to the Steelers, stay away from coming back to the NFC North because the Bears, the monsters of Midway, we're running that shit now. Hopefully, crossing my fingers.
I would just oh man, I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes sense for Rodgers to go back to the AFC, even though I said that he shouldn't go back to the AFC. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's so wild to see not only just this trade, but just this whole offseason, like all these trades, extensions.
Well,
Like,
let's see. So he went to the AFC North, right? So you got the Bengals, the Bengals, Steelers. Uh, I'm blanking right now. The Bengals and the Browns.
yeah, the Browns.
So I mean, it's not the AFC West, but
You still have the Ravens in there too.
oh, and the
Ravens,
yeah.
the Bengals, and the Browns.
So Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers.
Yep.
It's still a pretty tough division.
Yes.
I mean, the Browns are the Browns, but then you have playoff contenders, Super Bowl contenders in the Bengals and the Ravens. That's really a hard division. If anything, probably should have tried to work it out in with the Jets, but because the only team you really have to really worry about is the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
But honestly, at this point of I think we talked about this a while back. Um, Aaron Rodgers is just I feel like he's just playing just to play
Yeah.
and collect a paycheck now.
No,
I don't think really doesn't have anything else to prove unless he really wants to win a championship, but I just don't see him as the like how Tom Brady was. Like,
yeah.
dude just had fire.
Yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean?
no, I mean, we've talked about it. I remember that. He has nothing to sacrifice for.
Yeah.
Yes, it's half his family, I guess, doesn't fucking like him. So
I don't know if this is real, but he dated oh, I forgot that one actress.
or the
Well, yeah, Shailene Woodley.
yeah.
And I don't know if that's real or not.
I think it's real.
It's real. Okay,
Mm.
so she came out in an interview or something and basically said like Aaron Rodgers like almost like ruined my life or just did not make me happy.
Traumatized me.
Like, yeah. I'm like, wow,
I mean, I'm not surprised.
that's crazy. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not really surprised either, but there's just like things about Aaron Rodgers that just kind of like I don't know, he's just like in his own world.
He's a sketchy guy.
Yeah. So, and the other news too, let's go back to the Bengals real quick. I don't know if this is true either, but the I think it's a GM. She mentioned something about like the Bengals can move anywhere. Like, what?
What the fuck?
Like they can move and like they're thinking about moving their team.
Oh my
And
god.
so there's been rumors that because the Bears are also trying to get a new stadium,
Yeah.
whether it's going to be in Arlington Heights or stay in Chicago, there has been rumors saying that they could possibly share
Share a
a
stadium.
stadium. So that was kind of wild to me. I don't really want that to happen.
No. There's too much traffic in Chicago already. Like, what the fuck?
But anyways, yeah. So a lot of things have been happening outside of wrestling and all in the other worlds of sports. Baseball just started.
Torpedo bats.
The torpedo bats is, in the 3 weeks of baseball, the torpedo bats are the hot topic. Whether it is legal or not, but apparently they are. They're
It's in the rule book.
It's in the rule book. The torpedo bats that were made by some MIT kid
Yep.
created these bats for the New York Yankees. So the first two games against the Brewers, they scored like 28 something runs.
Yeah, it was like
And the
20
the funny thing is that Aaron Judge, their best hitter, did not use a torpedo bat.
Did you really?
No,
Oh my
he
God.
did not. So that just shows you his power.
He said, "I'll need this to show my power and have a regular bat."
But anyways, yeah. So baseball has been, firing up, and
How's your Chicago Cubs doing?
the Cubs are looking good. They just smashed the Texas Rangers 7-0. I actually just put a 28-1 ticket on them. put like $15 to win 435.
Sure.
And if I might put more as the season goes on. But the Dodgers, they caught fire too. Dodgers, Padres, they both started off like 7-0.
Yeah.
They kind of lost now, or I'm sorry, the Dodgers have lost 2 in a row against Philly. Actually, they lost 3 in a row because they just lost to the Nationals yesterday, which is
Okay.
crazy. So they're 9-3.
You need to
But
torpedo best, dog.
but yeah, so the torpedo bats there, it's just apparently there's other, not just the Yankees using it, but there's other players using it as
Well, I
well.
hope so, because
Yeah.
you can't just put the
And
blame on one other team.
so one of the Cubs players, Nico Horner, he was actually using it during spring training.
Okay.
So, and obviously it's legal, and we'll see if that stands through the test of the season. But other than that, it's just great to bet baseball every day, lose money or not, but
Yeah.
win money. Wow, man, that was a lot, man.
Yeah, dog. I mean, torpedo bats and
Torpedo bats,
Russell
March
Wilson.
Madness,
Yeah.
March Wilson. I can't believe March Madness is just felt like that, man.
Houston fucked me over $125, man.
Man.
Couldn't score a basket in the last 2 minutes.
Imagine if he took Florida in preseason, which they were what 60 to 1. Wow, man! Shout out to Mitch Moss.
Shout out to Mitch.
Man, he hit a 1,500 to win 150,000. Woo!
Well, he was part
There's
of
a free roll.
it was a blackjack tournament, and it was like I think he won the tournament.
Won
He
the
got a free
tournament, got the
roll.
free roll,
And he picked Florida at whatever odds they were at.
which was, I think, was like 9 plus 950 or
Plus
something like.
950.
But regardless, he still had to put in money for the tournament, which was, I believe, was like 1,500.
Yeah.
So in reality, it wasn't really a free bet, regardless, because he had to put money in it. But he just turned his
1,500
into Let's see, sorry. So I think we're gonna wrap it up here, man. This is News Across All Arenas. I'm Ryan. He's Andre. See you guys next week.
Okay, Zach.